you want a late night comic book alert? Do you? If so, you're in the right place. This is Dazzie's Hot Comic Book Alerts, episode 194. As you know the score, you have to by now. News waits for no man. What have I got for you? For the last few days, we've had a ton of information about the next phase of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I did a special just the other day on the Eternals. Now I've got some info on another of those titles that is coming, and I'm excited for it. For I have the first appearance of the Black Widow. Yeah, Tales of Suspense 52. We are getting a Black Widow movie. Now, I'm not jumping for joy at it, but I've got all the bases covered, or so I thought. I've got the first appearance of the Taskmaster, first appearance of Red Guardian, to name but a few. First appearance of the second Black Widow, Yelena. But now I've got another book to be on the lookout for. Marvel has just announced the first few entries in the MCU's Phase 4 lineup, including next year's Black Widow. During that panel, Marvel revealed who the cast would be playing, with the exception of Rachel Weisz. We all know Rachel Weisz, guys. There we go. Married to Daniel Craig, I believe, James Bond. Or at least she used to be. Thanks to an interview with Entertainment Weekly, we now know who she will portray. During the interview with EW, Weisz confirmed that her character is named Melina, and that she has been through the Red Room's Black Widow program several times. For fans of the comics, they will note that this refers to Melina Vostokoff, aka Iron Maiden. Not the band, but that's the name of the character. Now, in the comics, Vostokoff was an agent of the Russian government, but was forced to live in the shadow of Black Widow. And as a result, she grew to resent Natasha and left Russia to become a freelance mercenary and assassin. And based on this, it is not hard to guess that she would be an adversary of Natasha's Black Widow. Interesting. Let's find out a little bit more about the Iron Maiden. That's what she looks like in the comics, guys. There we go, the Iron Maiden. Melina Vostokoff, also known as the Iron Maiden, was originally an agent of the Russian government. She was forced to live in the shadow of the legendary Black Widow. This caused her to develop a deep hatred for the Widow. Eventually, she left the service of Russia and became a freelance assassin and mercenary. Now, Iron Maiden was one of a group of assassins sent by Damon Dran to assassinate the Black Widow. And the Iron Maiden outlasted the other assassins and was on the verge of overpowering the Widow when she was interrupted by Jimmy Woo and a squadron of S.H.I.E.L.D. agents. Melina fled and was followed into the sewers by Woo and Widow. She ambushed them, but Woo used his energy blaster to blow a hole in the floor she was standing on, which generated a powerful whirlpool and sucked her down to the next level. Now, Iron Maiden was one of an army of superhuman female criminals, the Femizons, gathered by Superior as part of her plot to sterilize the rest of the world and gain power for a potential nation of all women. She was part of the army that defeated and captured Captain America and Paladin when they tried to sneak aboard the ship of Superior's island Femizonia. Melina was one of the small group that stayed by Superior as her lieutenants following the defeat of her initial plot. Iron Maiden accompanied Superior and the other remaining Femizons to Boca Caliente for the AIM Weapons Expo. Superior attempted to execute AIM's head, Alessandro Branex, to take over AIM for her own issues, which brought her group into conflict with Modam and the other security forces of AIM. And in addition, the assassination failed because Superior did not realize Branex was an adaptoid. Modam overpowered Superior and Blackbird, and Iron Maiden was unable to reach her to even try to stop her. Just a bit of back history there. But now let's talk about the powers and abilities of the Iron Maiden. Now, the Iron Maiden wears a flexible metal costume which protects her from the force of many impacts and insulates her from many different forms of energy projections. It may also grant her some level of superhuman strength, making her somewhere between peak and advanced human. Iron Maiden is a master hand-to-hand combatant, assassin, and espionage agent. Iron Maiden has a normal human strength for a woman of her age, height, and build who engages in intensive, regular exercise. The Iron Maiden's armor increases Melina's strength and protects her from physical and energy damage. And she has internal weapons of the Iron Maiden armor. So I'm guessing a little bit along the lines of some of Iron Man's powers. So that's the history, that's the powers and abilities. The book in question is from November 1983, and this is really heating up. Now on Comic Book Realm, this is just a $4 book. But if you look on eBay, there's only one left standing, and that's around about the £35 mark now. For the first appearance of the Iron Maiden, Melina Vostokovna, is Marvel Fanfare, issue number 11, guys. That's your book. The first appearance of Rachel Weisz's Iron Maiden. Now, if that is ever a dollar bin book, I don't know what is. Get out there. I reckon you can still find these if you hunt quickly enough. I shall certainly be looking in the next couple of days. I've got a couple of ideas where I might be able to find one of these. I'm excited for the Black Widow film now. Something new on my radar. That's always good. That's Daz, over and out. Bye for now.